Hello and welcome back to After the Credits. So today we got around to seeing another movie, finally. It's been a couple days since I saw, what was it? Oh, Hateful Eight. I almost forgot what I saw. So it's after work. The other day I didn't really feel like going. I was kind of tired after work, but today I felt fine. So I was like, yeah, I'll go see something this morning. Plus we're getting closer to payday, so I can kind of swing it a little bit more now that it's closer to payday, where when it's still towards the start of the week, it's like, I probably shouldn't be spending as much money as I am, because I am still having financial issues. That hasn't changed in the past 3 years. So, yeah, I'm still trying to watch money at times, but at the same time, it's like, I gotta do something to do these. So, I was looking to see what the shortest one was and what the earliest one was. And I'm kind of going out of order here because I had my list of things that opened by date, because I have been keeping track of what's opened since I stopped watching movies back at the end of last year, as far as like what opens and what I want to see and all that. I've been keeping track of it each week, but I'm kind of going off list here and seeing something that came out a little bit more recently, just because it was the first thing that started today. I still haven't made it over to the Dollar Theater. Probably going to do that next week. Hopefully all the movies are still there. It's just it's clear across town, and like I said, I'm already tired just sitting here at my home theater watching movies, so to drive all the way across town and try and make a day of it, because when I go to that theater, I'm not going to drive all the way across town, see one movie, and then drive all the way back, and then have to do it all again another day for one movie. If I'm going to go over there, I want to try and knock out at least 2 or 3 in a row. So I kind of have to wait till there's enough stuff playing there that I want to see, and make sure the times all fall in line to where I can see them. So yeah, and I have to be awake enough to stay up all day to watch 2 or 3 movies in a row. So sticking to the home theater here, and after I've rambled for 2 minutes to tell you why I had to see this movie today, I'll finally tell you what movie I saw today, in case you couldn't tell by the title card. Today I saw Gods of Egypt. Okay, so what do we think of this movie? I saw the poster for this a while back, because anytime I go to the theater, if there's new posters in the hallway, because I always look at the posters in the hallway before I leave the theater, and if there's something new coming out, I'll snap a picture of it with my phone, and I'll make a list of it later, like upcoming things I want to see, so that when I actually start seeing the previews, then I can kind of do a second judgment, or when it comes out, I can actually just go see it. So I saw the poster for this one, and I was like, oh, that looks like it could be interesting, so I snapped a picture of it, and actually haven't seen a single preview for it up until today, surprisingly enough. So I've been hearing a lot of stuff about it, but I kind of try not to base things off of other people's judgments about a film. Like, I've been seeing a lot of my friends saying don't watch it because of, hate to say it, but racial issues. Like, why are white people playing the gods of Egypt? And, it's like, yes, the main 4 characters are white, but there are other people of ethnicity in this. One of the gods is actually black. A lot of the general population members of the cast are at least they're made to look like they're of Middle Eastern descent. I don't know if they're actually Middle Eastern. I shouldn't say Middle Eastern, because they're they're made up to look more like the Kardashians, kind of. That kind of Kim Kardashian, that darker complexion, the darker hair, the thick eyebrows. Basically the stereotypical Hollywood version of what an Egyptian would look like Cleopatra, the Scorpion King, all that type of stuff from The Mummy. They're made up to look like that if they're not actually that. So there is diversity in this. Yes, I can understand the issue with the main 4 characters being white people, but that doesn't affect me. I hate to say it, but it really doesn't. Not enough to affect me going to see a movie. Do I wish things were more ethnically balanced in Hollywood? Sure. It would be interesting to see characters actually portrayed by other people that are decent actors, regardless of their race. Yeah, I've been hearing things like that, but like I said, that doesn't really affect me to the level that I'm not going to go see a movie because of it. I'm watching the movie to watch the movie. I don't really care who's in it, as long as they're a decent actor, which I haven't seen a lot from the people that are in this one, but the little bit I have seen, they've been decent. So, okay, let's get into what I thought of the actual movie. The actual movie... it's one of those that doesn't have to exist. I don't know why this movie was made to begin with. It was an interesting concept, it looks like. It just, like most things like this, is just not executed to its fullest potential. It's trying to do kind of... well, that's had mixed reactions to it. I was going to say it's trying to do like a Percy Jackson type of thing where, you know, you have all the mythological gods of Egypt and whatnot, and they're all like intertwined with humanity, and they go on this adventure type of thing. But at the same time, where a lot of people didn't like Percy Jackson movies, I kind of liked them for what they were. This seems like it's trying to go that route, but is falling more along the lines of what was that other movie? The Exodus movie that just came out, Exodus, Gods and Monsters, or whatever it was. Oh, no, actually, it's not quite that bad. Let's go, like, Wrath of the Titans. Well, no, Wrath of the Titans was the better one. Clash of the Titans. The remade Clash of the Titans. It kind of falls into that realm. Not quite as bad as Exodus. Not quite as good as Percy Jackson. Kind of along the lines of being only slightly better than Clash of the Titans remake. So yeah, it's probably about equal to Wrath of the Titans, because I actually did sort of like Wrath of the Titans a little bit better than Clash of the Titans, but yeah, that's a totally different thing. That's kind of my overall review of it, so let's get into the premise of the movie. So we have the Egyptian gods, which are living with the Egyptian mortals. Well, most of them anyway. The only one not really around is Ra, because he's dragging the sun across the heavens and battling Chaos, the darkness demon, which is actually Egyptian mythology if you actually read into it. So he's doing that, but all the other Egyptian gods, all his children, are down on Earth. He has two main sons. God, I've already blanked out on which ones they were. I want to say it's Osiris and Set. Is that right? God, I just watched it a couple hours ago and I'm already forgetting. I want to say it's Osiris and Set. Osiris, who's made the king of all of Egypt, has his son Horus. Set is... what is he the god of? Oh, he's the god of the desert, and yeah. So he kind of has like the... between Cain and Abel, Osiris would be Abel, where Set would be Cain, you know, the one who's kind of exiled while the other one's favored. So it's kind of that mix. And that kind of plays out more into things later as well. So Osiris is stepping down. Horus is to be made the new king. And right before his coronation, Set shows up and he's like, you know, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. You know, I'm here for the coronation. You know, I bring this gift. And the gift ends up being a raid party, which takes over the whole courtyard, and Set ends up killing Osiris and telling the other gods to bow before him, or, you know, they'll share his fate. And Horus decides to fight him off, and at first even battle. Then there's some bad CGI stuff that goes on, and the battle concludes with Set ripping out Horus's eyes. So, yeah, Horus is now blind. At the same time, we're following one of the human people and his girlfriend. And the girlfriend, then it kind of goes into that dark age under Set's rule, kind of like in The Lion King when Scar took over and everything kind of went to hell. I think that mostly is when the reign of slavery started to come in. The Egyptians were made slaves under the gods. So then the one guy's kind of, the mortal guy, is talking to his girlfriend like, you pray to Horus every night, but where is he? Why doesn't he come help? And she's like, well, he's blind. So he goes, well, maybe I can find his eyes for him, because I guess when a god's eyes are ripped out, they become these magical jewels that can be put back in. So he's like, well, what if I go in and steal his eyes back? So she's like, okay, so, because she works for a guy who built the place where the eyes are held. So she has the blueprints of how to get past all the traps. So he goes in, and turns out there's only one eye there. So he manages to get out with the eye. He goes to the temple where he thinks Horus is where Horus is rumored to be at, and gives Horus back his eye. And then Horus is like, where's the other one? He's like, I don't know, but if you need help getting it, I'll help you get it. So then they kind of go on an adventure together. It kind of has that person with the big ego finds humility, and through the help of this person who's supposed to be guiding them on an adventure, kind of like Emperor's New Groove. How the Emperor was kind of a douchebag, and then he needed the help of the peasant, and the peasant kind of showed him the error of his ways, and he kind of became a nice guy at the end. Kind of the same thing here. So they go on this adventure. There's a bunch of battles. Eventually, Horus again faces Set, and of course the outcome that you expect to happen happens. There's a lot of reveals in it that mimic other things. I don't want to go too much into them because I don't want to spoil it for those people that actually want to watch it. But it results with Set unleashing the Chaos Demon on the Earth, and Horus has to basically, Set ends up stealing Ra's power, so Ra can't fight off the Chaos Demon, and he ends up unleashing the Chaos Demon on Earth, so Horus has to try to restore Ra's power so that he can fight off the demon. So yeah, they go through all that. Everything kind of happens the way you would expect it to. And, Horus finds his humility. He eventually becomes king. Spoilers. And, he's better off for it, I guess. He's able to be a better ruler this way than what he probably would have been had he not gone through this. I don't know, because his father seemed to be a pretty decent ruler, and usually when you're raised by someone who's a decent ruler, you don't turn out to be too much of a douchebag, unless they were going the other route of he was overly spoiled. But it didn't seem like that's where they were going, because usually if you have a benevolent leader, they usually end up with a spoiled child who doesn't realize the error of their ways and has to learn it. Or you have the benevolent ruler who has a benevolent child who is cast out for some reason and has to regain their throne. And in this one, it's like they kind of mixed the two, but it blended weird. It wasn't a bad blend, it was just off a little. Because yeah, he was raised by a benevolent king. He had benevolence himself. He wasn't mean to the people that were under him. He showed them like the same respect that his father would. So then it ends up him being cast out and having to reclaim the throne, but at the same time he does develop a level of arrogance that he has to break away from. Like I said, it's just a weird mix. So overall, that's the premise of the movie. Is it something that had to be made? No. Is it something that could have been better? Yes. Was it horrible? Not really. Like I said, if you like the Wrath of Titans or Clash of Titans at all, you could probably get into this. If you like Percy Jackson movies, again, it's kind of in that vein, but Percy Jackson's still better. which like I said, I've had a lot of people say negative things about the Percy Jackson movies, so there's that. But it's not quite as bad as that Exodus movie that came out last year or the year before. So yeah, as far as a star rating on this one, I'm going to say it's a 2 and a half. No, it's a 2. I was going to be nice and give it a 2.5 because it wasn't quite as bad as Exodus. I think I gave what did I give Exodus? I think I gave Exodus a 1. I was going to be nice and give this one a 2.5, but like I said, it could have been a lot better based on what they were trying to do with it. I saw the potential there. It just fell flat, really flat. So I'm going to give it a 2. Like I said, if you like those other movies, maybe check it out. You might like it. Is it comedically bad? Not really. So, yeah, not much else to say about it. Let's go ahead and wrap this up here. I'll probably go see something again tomorrow after work, depending on how tired I am. If not, then definitely the next day. But it'll probably still be one of these shorter films. Maybe this coming weekend, I'll finally get over to the Dollar Theater and see those other ones. Hopefully they're still there this coming weekend. But yeah, so in the meantime, again, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and share the video. The links and stuff hopefully down there. Maybe I finally did it this time, even though I've been saying it for like the past 5 videos. Been saying it the last few videos, I know that. Maybe one of these days I'll actually do it. So look for that stuff down there. If it's not there, drop me a comment. Like, hey, you forgot it again. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Do all that stuff I just said, and until next time, we'll see you after the credits.